Hello and welcome. I am Agent Will Harris from ComicsBlend.com in my SHIELD uniform, and I have been tracking down enhanced Inhumans, and I have found two right here. Everyone's very enhanced here at Zanadu Comics, and we are here to enhance your life with brand new comic picks this week. Can you feel the convergence? Are you guys in the convergence? It's basically all your favorite from all different eras of DC Comics. They were all captured in domes under Brainiac's rule, and then this new villain called Telos busted out the domes, and so now you have heroes and villains from every DC era fighting it out for control, and there can be only one multiverse when it's all done come June. So Highlander, exactly. Where's Kurgan? Convergence 3 this week. It's awesome because all the tie-in books bring in the era from Crisis of Infinite Earths. So as you can see, it's the Earth 2 Batman, and the Earth 2 team takes another hit this week as they deal with the big bad Telos, and they feel his wrath. And so let's get into some of all the many tie-in books that are dealing with this. And you have a spectacular issue of our Amazon Princess versus
a cult, a Domesday cult, if you will.
Ooh.
I didn't come up with that. I'm pretty sure it was Dan Didio. You can blame him. This is Convergence Wonder Woman by Larry Hama and Joshua Middleton, who did NYX back in the day. This is the vampire universe, I believe, invading Wonder Woman of the 80s, which actually they're using the lettering from the awesome Agent Diana Prince 70s Wonder Woman, so it's a bit more low-key, like she's running around in her white jumpsuit actually, like hanging out with Steve Trevor and, just kind of fighting casual vampire Joker.
Because that's totally casual.
Why not?
Yeah.
Speaking of things in Gotham City, we have the Hawk people. Because apparently everybody's hanging out in Gotham City this week. This is Jeff Parker and Tim Truman, the man that defined Hawkman and Hawkwoman with Hawkworld for many, many years. Hawkman is one of the most convoluted characters ever to exist in the history of comic books. So it's best to just kind of take it for what it is. But yes, the Hawk people fight Hawk monsters in Gotham City. What more do you want?
My pick really takes me back is New Teen Titans. Back in the day when I was a little young nerd, and I was reading the Golden Age of Claremont Byrne. I was also reading the Wolfman Perez New Teen Titans. New 52, I'm sorry, but these are the Titans for me.
Yeah.
It is Nightwing and is awesome with a little bit of yellow hint there. It's Starfire. It's Wonder Girl in her red jumpsuit, and it's Beast Boy turning into green elephants and all that kind of stuff. And Cyborg should be a Titan. I'm sorry, but anyway. But this takes you back. It's actually got Marv Wolfman. It's got this spectacular Nicholas Scott from the Earth 2 relaunch. And it's basically that's all I need to know to read about this. I don't really care who the villain is. They can just be hanging out and just being good buds in this issue, and I'd be happy with it. But of course, there's a lot of conflict.
I would read 20 pages of Beast Boy eating pizza.
There you go. Why not?
My next one for you is Convergence Justice League of America. This is, of course, Justice League Detroit under another name. Written by Fabian Nicieza, drawn by Chris Cross. This sees Aquaman leading Elongated Man, Martian Manhunter, major players such as Gypsy and Vibe and Colonel Steel.
But Vixen was awesome. Vixen's awesome.
Vixen Zatanna in their old 80s outfits. Zatanna with that weird snake thing on top of her
I
head.
never understood that.
No one did. I don't think the people who drew it understood it.
Why would Aquaman, water guy, lead Justice League Detroit in the middle of the country unless he was going from the lakes and he could jump into the oceans if he needed to? And he was in a cave in Detroit, but anyway,
That's a really good question.
No idea, right?
Why wouldn't he be like Justice League Rhode Island? Or
I feel like Aquaman would get beat up in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he would.
There's no water.
He'd get rolled in Detroit.
Unless he could jump in and form a crossover, an amalgam issue with the Great Lakes Avengers. See?
I was going to say a Milestone universe.
And now you have a history and geography. There you go.
All right, speaking of things that aren't quite as cool as that, Green Lantern Corps this week, David Gallagher, Steve Ellis, they did the old, at this point, Zuda Comics webcomic High Noon, which was the cool werewolf western gunslinger thing. But this issue sees a very pissed off Guy Gardner, as always, bitch at people for like 20 issues or 20 pages, then take off on his motorcycle after breaking things. Sounds like Guy Gardner.
Do you remember once upon a time when Batman led a group called the Outsiders? The Outsiders went through a lot of different incarcerations?
Incarnations.
Thank
That's
you.
jail. Will.
That's jail.
Thank you. They put a lot of bad guys in jail, but this was Batman with Black Lightning and Geoforce and
Metamorpho,
and Katana when she wasn't in her other costume.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the other chick is with all the.
That's
colors.
Halo.
That's Halo.
She's
Halo.
like an alien parasite in someone else's body with light powers, but before parallax was a thing. Totally different.
I must have forgot that part when I was a
Wow.
kid. But anyway, Batman and the Insiders. It's Mark and Draco. It's Carlos Deanda.
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 Yes.
An amazing artist. Last actual comic he did was the Dark Horse relaunch of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He did. He drew some serious underbellies and some ships on that one.
Yeah. My next book for you, speaking of space and ships and things, Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes by the Egos team of Stuart Moore and Gus Storms. Really, really good fit for this book. It's nice to see them getting, they're basically doing a Legion fan comic, so it's nice to see them on an actual Legion book here. Hope that does well.
And Marv Wolfman is pulling double duty this week. Adventures of Superman with, yes, the return of Headband Supergirl. Because the only true Supergirl is the Headband Supergirl. Art by Roberto Villacava. There's some gorillas in here. There's some Zod action.
Ooh.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Nice.
Bro, couple more.
we got another
couple more.
Convergence.
Bro,
Quick.
you're never out of Convergence.
Yeah, I know. We want to be done with Convergence, but
But my last Convergence book for you, mercifully, is Swamp Thing. By Swamp Thing creator Len Wein and the amazing Kelly Jones, who I guess was born to draw Swamp Thing or something.
horror, anything.
I had
horror-y.
never seen him do this before, but it's really sweet. Last things he did were a few horror-themed Batman books, so this is a cool one to watch out for.
And my last one is The Flash. And this is back to Barry, who, like I said, is living in Gotham City. I don't know why. Everybody's in Gotham City.
It's low rent.
Dan Abnett not writing with Andy Lanning on this, which is something to actually mention. And Federico D'Alico doing the art on here. I miss Wally. I'm going to be honest.
But you can see Barry every week.
That's right.
Okay, we're going to go to other books
Moving
now.
on.
Moving on to Marvel.
There
This
are
is
other
the
books?
big conclusion of the Black Vortex. This is the Black Vortex Omega. This is the big finale of the crossover with Guardians of the Galaxy, X-Men. Big alien ancient artifact can grant these people with incredible powers. Basically, you have a whole planet that's basically going to be harvested by the Brood to launch a big Brood mega army. And so the X-Men have to stop that. And a lot of the X-Men and the Guardians, they've succumbed to the temptation of the Black Vortex. And one of our favorite X-Men has possibly made a big sacrifice to stop everybody and save the universe. And what's it going to do to the romance that is Starcat, Star-Lord, and Kitty Pryde for all you social media kids out there. So it's kind of the big wrap and finale before we go into Secret Wars. And so could be a big cliffhanger of what's going to happen with Guardians and X-Men. Da-da-da.
And let's see, from Image Comics, new this week from Chip Zdarsky and Kagan McLeod, Kaptara. In Chip Zdarsky's words, not mine, the gay saga, apparently. But the idea here is man gets lost on alien planet, and you will not believe what happens next in, Chip Zdarsky speak. But I love Kagan McLeod. He did a really great book called Infinite Kung Fu, which was awesome. And this has got all sorts of cool, creepy, crawling monsters and spaceships, very, very toy-like barbarian type of things. Lots of fun, new from Image, and definitely meant to be very funny.
Ta-da.
Got for you from Dark Horse the conclusion of Blood Lagoon in Alex DeCampi's Grindhouse, Drive In, Bleed Out. What can we say about Grindhouse? It's scummy, it's gross, it's bloody, there are giant ticks. It's just, what more do you want? It's exploitation at its best. You won't find this in any other comics.
No. So if you picked up Archie vs. Predator and you liked it, buy Grindhouse.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And then go back and buy the 2 trades of the last series.
Absolutely.
Because they're amazing.
And No Mercy.
All New X-Men number 40 this week. This thing has been nuts on my site, comicsblend.com. Shameless plug. It's been one of the top 3 search things that people really are fascinated by this, especially with something that's going to allegedly happen with one of the original X-Men in this issue. But basically, you remember back in the day when, not too long ago, when the X-Men lived on their own island off the coast of San Francisco. I thought it was kind of cool, kind of different. It was called Utopia. And of course, during AVX, the Phoenix Five kind of blasted into the ground. So somehow the all-new X-Men have gone into the past, and who are the Utopians now? Who's left of them? I kind of did my own picks of which people from that era I would love to make a comeback. We'll see what happens with that. But we're building up to the finale of Brian Michael Bendis' end with the X-Men, so could be some big clues as to what happens next with them here. And of course, a very important life choice might be happening by one of the famous X-Men in this one. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. If you didn't go on the internet today.
Don't go on the internet. And I didn't publish it, by the way. So
Will, they're already on the internet.
they're already on. That's right. I
That's
keep
right.
saying that every week. You're already on the internet, so
Anyway.
be careful out there when you're doing it.
Right. New from IDW this week, the return of Walt Disney comic books. For kids. Uncle Scrooge this week by the team of lots of Italian guys, and I'm not going to butcher their names. But if you need Donald Duck stuff, Uncle Scrooge, there's going to be Mickey Mouse, all sorts of things. This is the beginning. Number 405. 405, it's a lot. So, for the kids.
And over at Image, we've got the return, the beginning of a new arc of Rick Remender and Wes Craig's Deadly Class. We've got 2 covers here. One by Wes Craig himself, and another by Rick Remender's frequent collaborator, Jerome Opeña, artist of, the majority of Fear Agent. Back to the backstories of, I totally forget what her name is, because I haven't read this book in ages.
She's
But
awesome.
the one with the awesome Dia de los Muertos face paint, it's touching up on, her past, and a few violent figures from it who have come for revenge. So this should be an awesome, brutal as always story arc.
Finally, let's go to, for me anyway, not for these guys, but Star Wars number 4. If you were like me last week, you saw the Star Wars The Force Awakens, and you were going, and then that final 3 words were the best special effect ever. Chewie, we're home. I screamed and yelled, and my coworkers came to my desk. I love this Star Wars by Jason Aaron and John Cassidy because it really feels like I walked out of the movie and the story kept just on going. And what's cool about this is you're going to learn some great language. You're going to learn Huttese in this issue because it's back to Tatooine for Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker because he is not a Jedi yet. So he does a little training. We have some cool interaction in Jabba the Hutt's palace. Plus, it's not just, you remember Greedo? There's a whole mess of Greedo-like people, whatever his alien is. I'm sorry, Star Wars fans, I don't know the exact alien language, but there's a whole mess of Greedos in there, and this be pretty slippery guys. But yeah, I'm loving Star Wars, the series. Like I said, it's like you walked out of A New Hope and just whipped right in there. So may the Force be with you if you check out Star Wars 4 this week.
My next pick from IDW again, Empire by Barry Kitson and Mark Waid. This book has been, this first ones came out about 10 years ago or so. The idea is that a Doctor Doom-like character has taken over the world, and it's now become an internal power struggle between him, his offspring, his generals, all that stuff. This is really great Mark Waid superhero stuff. It's really good. It's kind of like Astro City a little bit, where Kurt Busiek, pays homage to the characters, but still creates something new. And it's definitely my favorite Barry Kitson. But if, Golgotha here with the big sword is not any indication of how many people are going to get chopped up in this issue, it should be good. But yes, very excited. And if you just want some good supervillainy, Empire.
Alright, my last book here for you. It's a little more down to earth. From Archaia, this is the first English translation of Asaf Hanuka's The Realist strips. He is an Israeli cartoonist who I've seen a ton of his stuff online. He's got Facebook fan pages, where he posts illustrations and things, but hardly ever actual full translated comics. And it looks like him and possibly his brother and a couple other people have been working on translating all of this. Really amazing work here, touching, moving, but also still funny and, above all, just beautifully illustrated. $25, really beautiful edition from Archaia. They do great work, he does great work, it's just kind of great.
Very much. And the last book of the week, we will end it with the ninjas, because ninjas are awesome, always. Ninjak number 2, Matt Kent, Clayman, Butch Geist doing the backup, Ulysses Ariel on colors. This book was a lot of fun. The first issue was really cool. It had this kind of like Tattoo Rose character from Stormwatch, like this evil woman of death who just killed everything. And then Ninjak was pretty badass, if I gotta say. But Clayman really rocking some Oliver Coipel on this. Really cool. Great ninja action stuff. You know, if you want superhero stuff and getting a little burned out by DC and Marvel, may I suggest some Valiant. That's right.
Thank you. That's what Dr. Casey orders. So.
That's exactly what Dr. Casey orders.
Thanks for watching us on the Internet's Place, and until next time.